Well, and when two Kent County men leave to visit their families for the holidays this coming Friday, they're facing the possibility of not being able to return to their own home.
They just learned the health services that they rely on 24 hours a day are being terminated. Fox 17's Dana Chiklis spoke with the roommates today. She's in studio now with a call to action for answers that these men need. Dana.
Right, a lot of answers needed on this one. Brian Butler and his longtime friend, college roommate, Aaron Young, they're dealing with a convoluted funding structure and a healthcare system that's just frankly hard to follow. So a letter informing them in less than 30 days they're losing some key healthcare services and they're not getting answers. All of this is about to cost them their independence. They're both proud Central grads. Brian and Aaron, they live together now in Walker, and they don't take being part of that community and their independence for granted. They require around-the-clock health care to help them with everyday life. They each have what's called a community living support aide come to their apartment every day. For Aaron, they provide tracheotomy suction, and for Brian, he calls them his hands and his feet. So here's the real problem. They received multiple letters, one mid-November, two dated last Wednesday, stating Spectrum Community Services will be cutting their support coordination services in 30 days. So when they call the agencies, they say they're getting the runaround. And while they've been interviewing nurses to hire, nobody is telling them how much funding they have to use to hire them. So transitioning from agency to private nursing is much more costly. And with many agencies already skeleton staffed going into the holidays, they're going to their parents' homes hours away from each other, unable to return until they get some answers.
When we go home, we get no interaction with the community.
I just feel like I like being in this community, but when you take away, it's like, here's Gregors, you have your life now, I'm gonna take it away from you. That's kind of what it feels like.
So you can just tell, these two are diligent. They're going with the program even though they don't know why. They're ready to hire these private nurses, which is a lot more money.
Right.
And so we have reached out to Spectrum Community Services and the other agencies they're working with. We haven't heard back, just talked with multiple secretaries today. I did get in touch with the State Department of Health and Human Services. They can't talk about this because of HIPAA.
Right.
So there is one short Band-Aid solution, an update. We just left their home a few hours ago. Yeah. And they, Brian told me that since we left, their support coordinator went to their home and said, we're going to extend your time, so it's not just a 30-day window anymore. Sure. But still the question is, why the change?
Well, that was my question. What did the letter say? Why are they just flat out cutting their services?
Right. They had kind of a heads up about this in November, but still no inclination as to why. What changed with the state funding?
Right.
What's causing this change? So we're going to stay on top of this. As soon as we get answers, we'll be sure to let everybody know.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for that, Dan.
Well, still to come, tensions.